Hi everyone. Today we just want to have a little talk about our last week. It's been a little bit of a tough week actually, and I thought we might walk down this little street here. It doesn't look tough, right? But it has been a tough week. Looks like Michele and I are always sort of sunning ourselves in beautiful exotic lands. You know that we've been nearly 4 months now in Istanbul in an apartment. Let me give you a little bit of a backstory about this apartment that we stayed in. When we arrived, the gentleman that owned the apartment had just had a baby, literally a newborn baby.
He hadn't, but his wife had.
Michelle's right, of course. His wife just had a baby. And then, of course, the week after we moved into the apartment, everything shut down. The restaurants, pretty much the country started to shut down. And we decided that we would like to actually support his business, because we could see, and just let this traffic go by. We could see it was going to be a tough month or two for a young man with a new baby. So we decided not to negotiate hard on the price. We negotiated a small discount, and we continued to do a month by month rent of the apartment. Let's go off down this smaller road, I think, Michelle.
We thought it was only going to be 1 or 2 months as well, didn't we?
We really thought it would just be 1 or 2 months, maybe maximum. So we were paying in excess of 3,000 plus liras a month for our apartment. I'll tell you that now because it's quite an important point to remember. Now, you've met some of our friends. We made a lot of good friends in Istanbul. A lot of other people that were stuck there for one reason or another. And over time, we realized that everybody who had been stuck in Istanbul, let's go down this little alleyway here, all of our friends were paying half the price and less than half the price of what we were paying. Now, I felt, for a number of reasons, and I'll say now, I felt really that I wanted to support the guy. It was within our expectations, and so we decided to continue staying in this apartment, despite the fact there were some issues. It was a very noisy street after some time, and Michele and I found that we were getting less and less sleep because of the noise. But it's not a big issue. We fully accept it was our decision to stay there. So we made some really, really good friends. One of the issues that came apparent after a while is one of the members of staff that worked for this apartment complex. He wanted to, how do I say this? It's really hard. He wanted to be friendly with us from the start. A little too friendly, perhaps, to the expense. Wow, look at this. The chilies. We used to hang our chilies up like this and let them dry.
Smells good, huh?
Smells good. Smells good, all spices. Beautiful. So, where was I? Back to where I was. We befriended this guy, and he was perhaps a little over friendly. But one of the things that should have raised my attention in the first place was when he started to really badmouth. Good man, how are you? Come on, shopping. So, one of the things that should have sort of alerted me early on, and I regret not noticing it now, was just how this particular person was always bad-mouthing his employer and his colleagues. from pretty much the start in quite a really derogative way. Now I think he did this in order to open us up to talk with him openly about our situation. And because of it, we continued to pay the rent as we'd agreed, and we were reasonably happy with it. So what went wrong? Well, what went wrong was last Sunday I went to talk with the owner of the apartment, or the agent of the apartment, very nice guy, the lad that had just had the child, and I said we were going to try and cross over into Greece if we could, and try to work out our visa situation here, and maybe then return fairly quickly and come back to the apartment in Istanbul. Now he fully acknowledged and he thanked us for staying, and we told him the exact time and date that we were leaving. Let's go up this little alleyway, see what's up here. It's supposed to be a dead end. So I think it is a dead end. It's a dead end. Merhaba. Dead end. No pictures, please. So I'm trying to condense this story down if I can. I know it can be a bit long-winded, and that's why I brought you out, so we can have a little look around. Look at this. This is strange looking, like a quad bike, one of these bikes with two wheels at the front, and the saint on here. So where was I? I've lost it again. I'm trying to keep a train of thought going. Please be patient with me and share your comments down below. I'd love to hear what you have to think about this. So we gave him a few days notice, as we promised we would do, and when we went to move out on the day that we were flying, the night before was a bit of a problem. They were starting to get new guests into the block. There was a very drunk Russian lady shouting and screaming 3 o'clock in the morning in our building, setting off the alarms to the building. And it woke Michele and I up, so we had a very bad night's sleep. And on the morning that we had to fly, we were very tired. We woke up quite late, and we had to rush. Instead of being all sort of prepared, we had to rush. And I should add that the whole run-up to leaving, the owners, the agent, never once then came and said goodbye or thank you for staying or it was a pleasure having you there, despite the fact that we paid for 4 months to be in this place. And on leaving, a little bit sort of ungracefully, because we had to rush ourselves to try and get to the plane, we received a text message from this guy, the one that had befriended us. But we were traveling and I couldn't reply to it because we were about to board the plane. And bear in mind, this is the first time he'd contacted us in over a month and a half. I think he'd started to understand that his sort of facade had started to fall away, and we kind of worked out he was a bit of a wrong 'un. So we got a message, and then when we got off the plane, because obviously you put your phone in airplane mode, we got off the plane. I couldn't get on, going down this little alleyway, I couldn't get on to my 4G. Now some of you might remember this guy because he is the one that I signed my SIM card over in a video. he helped us by putting his name on my SIM card so that we could extend the SIM card because of the 90-day visa situation. This is the same guy from that video. I didn't think much of it. We just thought, okay, the SIM card hasn't registered in the new town, or maybe turning it on to airplane mode had given us a problem. We come to another dead end, Michelle. It's one of the beauties of these little Turkish port towns, isn't it? So nice. Colours. Pretty little place. It was only when I got to the hotel we were heading to that my suspicions started to rise as to why the phone wasn't working, because we couldn't make phone calls. And what actually happened, cut a long story short, is this guy.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Fine. Good.
On holiday?
Yes.
Living?
Local job.
Huh? Job? And the guy's saying, it's nice, tell people to come here. And he's right. If you saw my video that I've either just put up or putting up soon about flying at this time, you can make that decision. Flying is a little bit of an obstacle, but check that video out. I'll put a link. It might not be up yet. It might be the next video to go up. So what happened is this guy had sent us a message about 30 minutes after we'd left the apartment, saying that we owed for an extra few days. Now bear in mind we've been here 4 months. And nobody had told us this. They had every opportunity to come and talk with us and meet with us and say goodbye, have a nice journey. Nobody did. And then on the day that we're actually flying, they decide to send us this message. And I know for a fact that, I'll say his name, that Gunnar, this is the good guy in the story at the moment, knew exactly.
It's Galatasaray.
Yes.
Football sportman team.
Thank you, but it's not a nice sign, so I'm not filming it.
What's your sportman team?
Let's go up this little alleyway here. I was trying to get away from people calling us into their bars and restaurants. So the actual owner knew what time we were going, knew exactly the date we were leaving. There was no issues there. It was very, very clear. And we've spoken subsequently very friendly with him. But this Jobsworth, this guy who spent the whole 4 months we were here sort of bad-mouthing the colleagues at his work, bad-mouthing his employee, to try and make him seem like he was a friend of ours, who also was now the holder of our SIM card. What do you think he did? You can guess, right? He cancelled our SIM card, I think, like an hour after we checked out. While we were on the plane, he cancelled. He phoned up the telecom company and he switched off the SIM card. So consequently, when we arrived, we had no manner of contact in our hotel, we had no manner of internet, we had no manner of communications, no Google Maps. And it hurt, which is what he wanted to do, I suppose. And it hurt. It was very spiteful. You, friends of ours that have been following us, know that we buy a lot of data. We just bought like $160 worth of extra data so we can do live streams and upload our videos. And with this one malicious act, this guy wiped off all our data, wiped off our phone, destroyed our SIM card, And I've been subsequently into the telecoms and they say there's nothing they can do about it. It was in his name, he can do what he likes. So, disaster 1. Disaster 2 was we were led to believe, look at this cacti here, look. Going up the side of that building. The reason we left was because we thought we could cross into Greece and come back into Turkey and spend some more time exploring this beautiful country. And we were told on the 1st of July that the borders would open up between the ferry ports of Greece and Turkey. And we were told that it would be simple enough for us to cross over and come back in. When we arrived here, and I'll tell you where we are, most of you will have guessed by now, we're in Bodrum. When we arrived here, we were told differently that the ferries had not yet opened up, and despite the fact that, I'm not sure what this says here, probably something not too nice. So when we trotted down to the ferries, they said, no, we're not opening the ferries until the 15th of July.
That was because the Greece border was closed, wasn't it?
The Greek border was closed. Yeah. Now, this was a problem for Michele and I, because our visa expired some time ago, and we were hoping we could, get something solid in place so that we could remain here without any sort of worries or fears. So it's been a bit of a stressful week. We're stuck still in Turkey, happily stuck, but it's a hardship mentally on us to continue to have this uncertainty. Now the Australian borders, the return home is completely closed off. A lot of you will say, well, that served us right. And you're probably right. Life deals you lemons, make lemonade, as they say. Our bridge back to Istanbul is burned, because I can't return to this guy now. Not this Sally. You're a crook. You're the most insincere person I ever met. We can never have anything to do with this guy again. He's been nasty. And it's a big disappointment. As of the owner, this guy, I think he's a good guy. We tried to support you. We put a lot of effort, a lot of cash your way. I think we've just done a big loop, Michele.
That's what you do when you go strolling.
We've done a big loop.
And that isn't just us having the problem with this guy. Subsequently, we found out that other guests had the same issues, didn't they?
Yeah, it turned out to be, he was doing the same thing with other guests. And it was one of the things that alerted us to the problem in the first place, when some other guests started telling us stories that made us feel very uncomfortable being associated with this person. Sadly, at that point, we'd already signed our SIM card over to him, thinking he was a friend. We could have done it to so many other honest people in Istanbul. We made a bad choice. It's cost us dearly. Now we're back to square one. We have no SIM card. We've got to try and find a way of getting through this without costing an arm and a leg. I hope we'll come up with a solution. In the meantime, from Michele and I, hope there's going to be more. We feel uplifted to be on the road again. I think that's the main thing, isn't it? We feel uplifted to be on the road again. Strange places, strange people, new sights, new sounds. So we're feeling positive. It's just been a bad week, and I hope you don't mind our little sort of complaint, a little moan. I know that other people are having it harder than we are, so we always do feel a little bit, unsure about constantly letting you in. But it's Steve's Kitchen, Steve Owens. We kind of keep it real. We're not flour coding everything. It's not all slow motions and drone shots. It's real on the channel. This is what's going on. Check out the videos over the next week. We're going to have a look around this beautiful town. We've met some more wonderful people, and hopefully we won't meet another crook like this guy. And if you're watching this, you should really try to live with yourself, man. Very difficult. Take care. From Michele and I in Turkey, to you lovely people. We will see you next time. Be good. How nice is this?
You can look the castle, Bodrum Castle. It's very good.
This is the castle.
Yes.
So we've got Bodrum Castle behind me.
Repair. You don't go anywhere.
The island is closed.
Closed. Normally many tourists coming every day for fake t-shirt things, but closed.